While doing the stranded knitting on this yoke sweater, I'm trying to make sure that my stitches are well spaced apart and that there's no gathering of those stitches. Notice that this has not been blocked, and these stitches are laying absolutely flat, and every one is identifiable. So in order to do that, one of the things that I'm doing is making sure that my stitches are always well spaced apart, and I keep them pulled apart on the needle here. Once I get it off the needle, it doesn't make much difference. So my next stitch here is going to be a light colored stitch, and I make sure these stitches are spread way apart, that my left hand is stretching that yarn to get the light colored, the lighter of the two blues, and that when I tighten it on the needle, I do not bring it right next to the previous stitch. So here's the next one. Again, this is a short float, you would think, but I'm still making sure that those stitches stay well apart and that the yarn is snug on the needle, because there are two things that deal with tension. One is the snugness to the needle, which is our gauge maker, and the other is the distance between the stitches. This looks like it's just too far apart, but once it relaxes and is on the cable, you'll notice that the stitches are not that far apart. Once again, I'm going to the light colored stitch, and as I've kept all of these apart, but when I do this one, I make sure that I have my finger cocked this way to make it as long as I can. I don't want any loopy stitches here. I want them all to be the length that it is as these stitches are stretched out. When you see my work down here, for example, they look kind of loopy, but that's because they're all gathered on the cable. But this is the way they should look. They shouldn't be too tight. They should allow the stitches to stay apart, but they also shouldn't be wavy or extra long. So I'm going to continue on here in my pattern. One of the things that is easy to forget when you're doing something like the 3x3 row is that sometimes we get the stitches that are the same color a little too close together, and they should be stretched apart just like the stitches are when color is changed. All right, did I do that in the light color? Yes, I did. And now back to the dark color. So here we have this joining of the yoke sweater to the solid color, and there's no puckering. It's nice and flat, just like it's already been blocked.